Welcome back, everyone. Mike McConville here one more time for StringTech, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. And before we get started on this video, I wanted to bring you in and kind of give you an idea where we're heading with this. So we're going to swap out the bridge. We're switching the strings over from the 11 to 49 strings that came with it stock. This is a brand new guitar right out of the carton. I'm the first one to touch it. We're going to switch over from 11 to 49 to 10 to 46. This is what Mark prefers. And we are swapping out the bridge for a roller bridge. And just a couple of tips for anyone out there who is going to be working on these guitars. These threaded posts are extra long and they thread right into the body. They obviously act as support for the thumb wheel adjustment for the bridge, but they also act as indexing pins so that the foot of the bridge doesn't move. I'm going to bring you over and show you the German replacement bridge for this that has the rollers for each saddle. A lot of the guys that have these guitars do actually switch over to a roller type bridge for stability and tuning and when you're using the bar. So this is the original bridge that came with it, and this is the German replacement bridge. So the thickness for each string has been machined into the rollers. The thing about the Germans is they actually are as smart as they think they are. My foam mute in place that's muting the 5 remaining strings as I do the final calibration. Okay, we're on to the A string. Well, seeing as we are doing these two guitars in tandem for Mark, I thought I'd go through the calibration on both. All of the stuff that we did to this guitar I'll cover as well. one could move up a little bit. We are back to the Gretsch. So I'll go over the particulars. This is our roller bridge. And you can see a very slight movement of the bridge, but as I just demonstrated, the notes come right back to center every time. Now the difference between this and the original bridge is on the original bridge, the actual foot of the bridge was rocking. Here, you just have a very slight movement in the actual bridge itself, but the foot doesn't budge. For people that are not familiar with this type of tremolo, the Bigsby, you do have to keep in mind that when you lift that up, you have to make sure that that compression spring seats firmly in its bed. And another popular misconception is people oftentimes will bring the pickups up way too close. So to get a read on where the pickup should be, the last fret on the guitar will show you the closest you'll ever get to the pickup. When I press down that last note, we've got 6 mil, and here we got 5 mil. And on the bass side for the Imperial crowd, we've got 3/32 and 1/8 of an inch, or 4/32. And these adjustments can move up incrementally. You can play with it a little bit, but you're pretty well in the zone as far as a good approximation of the distance from the string to the pickup. Obviously the pole pieces can move up and down slightly, and you can kind of play around with that. You can move the pickup down a little bit. I wouldn't move it any closer than this. That gives you a general idea of where the pickup should be in relation to the strings. There's our close-up of the compensated nut, leading edge, 10-46 at concert pitch. We will bring this gorgeous guitar into the studio and plug it in and let you hear it. But first we'll take a look at that Tele Ultra. Here is our self-adjusting radius gauge. We'll tuck that in the case for Mark. We'll show you the compensated nut in a second. The radius has been adjusted. There was a slight fret dress at the top end here. These are Fender noiseless pickups. Again, you're going to hear this in a second. And this is the flip-flop pearl finish. So there's pearlescence mixed in with the paint, and depending on how you tilt the guitar, it'll go from green to white to purple actually. It's pretty cool. These were popular with the race cars. They still are. And motorcycle tanks. They decided to put it on a Telecaster guitar. Why not? This has got the S1 switching with the detent. That's just master tone, master volume. Stainless steel frets on this one too. This is your compensated nut detail, also 10-46 at concert pitch. And there's a couple other features that are kind of cool on this guitar. So these are locking tuners, and the profile of the post is quite low, which gives you good solid tension along those slots. You notice how they've just got the string tree for the top two strings and how far back it is. The underside of this string tree actually has a little bit of a radius on it. As the string travels from the locking tuner to the string tree to the slot, it slips back and forth freely as you bend your notes. Yeah, I'm game for that. I think that's a great design. Here's a couple other features that are unique to this guitar. This portion of the body actually ramps down slightly towards the neck, and you can see they've got their sort of cutaway version of the plate as well. And even this is kind of relieved. They also have a deep cutaway here, much like a Strat on the back. This is not your run-of-the-mill Tele. So to give you an idea on this finish, see, as I tilt the body, it actually changes color. Like I said, this is flip-flop pearl. Pearlescence is ground up in a powder form and mixed in with the paint. kind of goes from a purple to a green to the Arctic white, they call it. Another feature is this sort of matte finish on the back of the neck, and of course the Fender locking tuners.